Right, well, I managed to muster my way to get the windows in and pushed the rubber squinching down kind of pushes the door back, so it's a little close back here. But anyway, it'll probably get better. And then there's a lot of stuff to do here. But I was going to tell you guys first in the beginning of the video here about why I did this way. There's a lot of people who question it, and maybe you run into the same thing sometime on yours. And then why at a lot of metalwork shops, they don't put these doors back on, a lot of them. And it's mostly because it's going to cost you a lot more money to have this recess in your door. The earlier ones, because they were just flat all the way over. Okay, the reason that they were easier is because the handle was out a little bit further and it gives you more space in here. So even if these holes were off like that, it probably would work on the earlier doors because what happens here is the latch is way up close to where the handle goes in, and on the ones where it's flat right here, okay, has almost the same latch. It's a different latch, and they're only like $40 a piece on Wolfsburg West website for the earlier ones. So what guys do is they'll switch over to the earlier doors because they look almost the same. They look exactly the same except for that little reveal. It makes the door handle out further, so it gives you, that much more space for tolerance, so stuff moves around. So these ones here, literally, it has to be exactly perfect. It can't be too far off. Guys were like, hey, why don't you just smash it back down and then try and drill the holes? Well, the next thing is, where do I drill the holes? They have to be perfectly in the right place, and then they have to have that little divot that holds the mechanism inside there, because if that moves around every time you shut and open your door, eventually this is all going to crack and stuff like that. It literally has to be right, or it just doesn't work on this year. So that's why at a lot of metalwork shops, they'll tell you to get earlier doors, or get the ones that are earlier, get brand new earlier ones, because of this issue that we had trying to fix that. So just letting you know about that. That's why I did it that way. Really, literally, this was the only way to fix this. I went through every other option. There was no way to flatten those, weld up the holes, because if I welded up the holes and I had a little bit of weld on the other side, no go. It wouldn't fit. So like if I had, it literally has to be down to, less than a millimeter of tolerance, less than that. So that's how that goes. So if I was welding up the hole or whatever, and I got, some of my weld went through and was on the other side, of course that's going to happen. There's no way to get in there and grind it out. It's really an impossible situation on these. That's why like I said, a lot of the metalwork guys will put you into the earlier doors. So if you want to resist that, this is the problem that you're going to have in doing that. So that's why they tell you, because if you wonder why it's going to cost you $5,000 for them to fix your old doors, or fix the, and it's a lot cheaper than that to do new on the earlier ones, that's what you're running into, just for that little reveal. It just takes away all the tolerance. There's no room for error in there at that point. When the earlier ones, I had an earlier bus for many years, and the doors were not an issue. They were cracked and everything, and it just kept working. On these ones, as soon as anything happens, they don't work anymore. So the 61 to 64 and a half, early 64. So anyway, we'll keep going forward on this. Some of it I'm going to do off camera. There's just too many little stop and goes. And so I'm going to do some of that. I did, like I said, these shut kind of hard. Actually, maybe they're better now after sitting overnight. I still haven't got the top rubber piece in. I put that in and it wouldn't work. It's literally got to be moved around. So yeah, that's doable right there. I'm good with that. Even though it's close right here, you know, if it shuts on this year, that's where I stop. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some adjusting to them. Probably not, but I may. You know, this one sticks out a bit. And then this one here, the spring that holds this thing up kind of let go inside there. So what I'm going to do is put this spring on there, hook it on the top so that you can unlock it from the inside. I still haven't got a handle for that yet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one. Like I said, I might just put a keyed one on there and call it good. So anyway, we will check out some more stuff on this in a little bit. Talk to you guys a little bit later. All right, so guys, we got a bit of work done in here. I got a lot of the wiring hooked up. A lot of the wiring, you know, again, these things were just, if you try and crimp them shut, they just break off. So I put new ends on them. A lot of them. The wiring was in really good shape other than that. Some of them were a little short, so I had to snake them a little. It wasn't worth doing a whole harness. It just wasn't that bad. So all those, they're pretty expensive too. So all that's almost all hooked up. I got a few more things to do. I got to put this thing back into place. I got the headlights hooked up, but they're not working yet because I don't have the battery hooked up yet, of course. And I've got, you know, this side here got assembled. I'll show you how that door handle turned out. Maybe you didn't see it. Got some paint going on out here with these little things. This is the inside of them. And then I got this thing here getting painted. So I'm gonna filming all that. Just too small. It'd be like a little blip. Got this. This is how this turned out right here. I just lapped a piece over and welded all the way around. Just throw a little filler on there and sand it just a little bit. I'm just going to put a little finger of filler, kind of feather it in a little bit, make it look better. Not perfect for that. And then so most of the stuff is assembled inside. I put the turn signal switch in. You see that there. I got most of these bulbs are all replaced in there. I think I've got all those done now for the dash. Of course, speedometer's in, you see that. Kind of shortage of screws right now, so I'm waiting for my 5mm to get here. And they're another week out, looks like. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. You guys see the front end like that there with the headlights in it. Looks really cool with those fluted lenses and actually the German style bulbs and everything like they were originally. The only thing is, bummer is there's two different ones, but they don't really look that much different. They look like the same. There's one Hella and one Bosch, so somewhere along the lines they probably broke it. You know, the guys using this thing. Little extra coat of paint there, second side. A little more going on that guy. So we got this going on. It shuts now. That's the main thing. That rubber pushes the door back, so that's what happens. But for now, it shuts. And the main thing right now, I'm trying to get it so that I can drive it. So that's where I'm at on that. Little stuff on there. Got the last coat on these. They're drying. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. This side, there's a spring that holds this thing up so that you can open your door handle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a spring on it, a manual spring on the outside, and hang it. Well, I don't think it'll reach. I think I was going to actually put a, maybe I will just hang it. I was going to put it on a little piece of wire and then hang it from there, from that edge, the top edge of that. Let me see if I can do it without it. All right, there we go. Seems to work. Got it on there. Holds that up. You guys tell me, does this thing work? Let's see. Let's put it on lock position. Lock. Unlock. Open. Close. Lock, unlock. I think that'll do it. Let's try it. All right, it kind of works. I gotta grease this thing. I don't really want to do that till after I paint. Gets stuck. It does that. So that works. It's got a little bit of working to do on the inside. I gotta get it to shut. Have this thing come all the way out so it'll lock, because it won't lock with it halfway. Anyway, a little more grease, a couple more hours, right? What do you think? I don't know. It takes a lot of time. All this stuff does. This stuff just can soak up lots of hours. So anyway, we'll just keep moving on it. I'll get a lot more of this done. I still got to put these doors on the sides, and I know that they're not going to fit just without some shims and stuff. It's not going to be just a direct bolt on. You know, they're going to need me to shim the top corners, because I know I didn't make those pieces exactly the same. So I already know there's no way I could do that. I'm not that good. I was planning on using shims, so it's going to take me a little bit of time just to put those on. All right, so when I first got these done, I couldn't find my stainless steel rivets, so I found them, and now I'm putting those on. I already got them changed over. They were aluminum. I just did that temporarily because I couldn't find them. They turned up. That was cool. All right. Still, of course, the rubber's always going to fight you. This rubber right here, it will, until that thing gets worn in. It takes a while. It's always going to shut hard. Needs to work. It always shut hard like that. So I got this one done, the other side done. Yep. I got that thing just about ready for a mirror. I gotta let it dry. So it's over here in the wet paint department. Yeah. And I forgot to put the accelerator in it, so that's not going on today. Wow, that thing looks neat in the camera. Let's look at this side. Yeah, that looks cool. Let's get you up right up here. We can see it. Yeah, it looks good in the camera there, huh? What do you guys think? Let's look over this way a little more. Yeah. Just about ready to finish up, boy, but this little stuff just really soaks up the hours. But I'll tell you something. You know what soaks up the real hours? Is this car. Oh my goodness. Getting some good help. I got Kale from Kale Tuning helping me out. He's in Costa Mesa area. He does your tuning for your, but he also does repair as well. So he's been helping me out a little bit. And then I've got ABA Turbo on TDI Club. Just amazing technicians. Some of those guys are on TDI Club, and he's one of them. He's giving me all the parameters of stuff and what stuff to check to figure out the problem. But I've got another problem that just popped up when I was working on this now, the newest thing. It's like, does this ever stop, or is it ever going to end? I should have just bought another car, really. I mean, I might still end up doing that. But the last thing that just happened is the oil light came on. So there's no signs of it, but not having any pressure. But at this point, I really want to check the oil pressure. So buried down underneath here, that's the oil pressure sending unit. Yeah. So you almost got to go to service position to get it out of there. But you can get it out without it. I'm going to get it. I'm just going to move the hoses away and then get in there with a wrench and take it out. And then, yeah, we're going to take that out and put an oil pressure gauge on it, which I had to buy the one with the long hose on it because I don't think I can read that one if it's down there. I don't think I can even get it on there. It's such a tight area. So I think those ones that came with the elbows and stuff like that. So I got this nightmare, and it's been just soaking up all my time. Really, I've been over here working on this thing most of the time right now, trying to get it back running. And, you know, it's just like as soon as I seem to get close to the end and just another major problem happens, it's just like crazy. I've never seen anything like this. We're going to be doing a video on this subject of this car, of start to finish, the issues that I've had. I'm going to make an outline, and then we are going to bring in a guest guy, to actually another big YouTuber who's actually, I just talked to today. Really exciting. We'll make this a surprise. We might be doing some sort of a collab thing where he's going to comment on the video. I'm going to upload it, send it to him. We're going to look at it. We're going to talk a little bit, and we may do some sort of a collaboration. He thought it was just such a crazy story that he was really interested in putting it on his channel because he does all VW stuff, late model cars. So anyway, really exciting. Any guesses who that might be? You can put those in the comments. It's going to be pretty fun. I'm going to tell you something, amazing, super humble guy, really nice guy. So that's all I got to tell you. You can figure it out from there. I'll talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.